Hey everybody, how's it going? My name is Katsu. You guys call me Summoner or Tess or whatever nickname I've given myself. Welcome to today's video. I know it's been a while since I've actually uploaded a full edited video like this, but today I'm going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to do an analysis video of a new monster taming trailer called Pickmon. Now, there's a lot of like backlash and theories, and a lot of people saying that they're ripping off other characters and like different designs and things like that, especially the creature designs. I am going to do a little bit of an analysis and give you a little bit of detail on some of the copyright laws and see and let you know about what's different and what's too similar to the initial design. Now, we got a little bit of a disclaimer here. I am not an attorney. I do not intend on being an attorney, but that doesn't mean that I don't know a thing or two about copyright law, especially when it comes to character designs. Now, if I do end up showing a picture of any of my own creature designs that I'm going to be making, that I've made for my own future monster taming game, this is not to be a show off, okay? This is to help guide those that want to make like creature designs for a monster taming game of their own and give them more potential for in the future. So let's go ahead and get into this little reaction video. Now, I did watch this video yesterday, but I'm going to share this trailer with you, and I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a breakdown and a little analysis for this game that's coming up in the future, in hopes that I can help the developers think about like redesigning other creature design other creature designs that are just too much on the nose of like original designs of like what they were inspired by. Alright, let's go ahead and get into this video. Alright, so we got this video, the trailer Pickmon. Now, I will say that Pickmon is a little bit plain. It's a little bit bland in my opinion. Now, another bit of a disclaimer is that some of these are like some of my own opinions about designs, my breakdown, my analysis, but we cannot ignore the copyright laws that are used for like creating characters and making video games. So we have to keep that in mind. This is not just in my opinion. We also have to review the copyright law for video gaming and creator designing, because I do love making characters. It's one of the things I love to do when it comes to be as an artist. So we'll go ahead and get to this little video here. If you like this video, hit the like button. If you made it this far, great. If you haven't done so yet, what the heck are you waiting for? Hit the subscribe button, and also check out my socials in the link to my link tree in the description below. So let's go ahead and get right on it. So first thing I saw when I saw this trailer for the first time, so Pocket Game is very close to Pocket Pair. That honestly kind of concerns me when it comes to like a brand name, because it's so similar to Pocket Pair, and I'm pretty sure the developers could think of a better name than that. Now, we do have a little cute creature. When I first saw this trailer, I thought this was like, oh, this is a cute little Pikachu-inspired design. Now, we're gonna get into the full depth of the design later after we watch this trailer. We also see another creature design that I think it looks really cool. But I do see a little bit of a mix of two certain Pokemon that we are going to talk about later in this video. Scorpion, I like that. That one gave me balloon vibes. This one, I can tell right off the bat, it's definitely inspired by Swampert. And it's mainly the colorations, but this one, we're gonna talk about this one as well. That's a cute alpaca. I will say I do like some of these designs. Some of these do have a lot of originality in them. Wow. Yeah, some of these designs are really nice. A lot, like, there are a few that... This one, I'm gonna be honest, I don't think this one's safe. This one I really like. You'll see why. It can transform... Okay, I just saw the actual design. That looks like... It looks a lot like a Kamen Rider, but it turns into a motorcycle. I think that's really creative. I'm curious of what that one is. Okay, so you catch these monsters in cards. That sounds a lot like Temtem. That's their catching mechanic, is using cards. Okay, so let's see. Was there anything more? So let's take a look. Whoa. Okay. Oh yeah, that reminds me of Ganondorf for sure. Whoa. Okay. Now. We could... Okay, so let's do a little bit of a breakdown with this. And here. So. This design right here, I know that we saw it once again. Okay, there it is. This design right here, this looks like a mixture between Mega Rayquaza and Giratina. Freaking airplanes. Anyways, so I kind of like it. There is some concept. There is a concept to it, but it's a little bit too on the a little bit on the nose for Giratina, and I think what needs to be addressed, if they could like probably add like maybe 6 legs. That would be really interesting. I mean, if you want to have some originality, add some flavor to it, what I would probably suggest is like maybe adding 6 legs. But if these are the legs, and if that thing like crawls on the ground and flies, this one has potential of being safe. But I would probably add like another pair of wings in the back if there isn't any already. Let's take a look at this trailer. So, there are claws. I would probably get rid of the claws because, like I said, that's like a little too much on the nose for Giratina. And, I'm kind of curious of how the mouth opens. So, yeah, I don't see another pair of wings. So, this Phoenix bird design here, I heard that it looked like a ripoff of Moltres. I can see why they think that, because it is a firebird, but at the same time, there are phoenixes in like a whole bunch of monster games that I'm pretty sure were inspired by like Cantonian Moltres or Galarian Moltres, especially the shiny Galarian Moltres. But this one is it has more originality from a Moltres, so this one, legally, I could call that one safe. Now, we'll go ahead and get to this little guy. This one is definitely Pikachu inspired. We got this little guy right here, and we got Pikachu right here. Okay, ignore the fact that I have a lot of tabs open. I'm doing this mainly for the sake of this video, mainly. But anyway, so this is definitely pretty different compared to the Pikachu right here. What I would probably do is probably get rid of like the pink whiskers and keep them like yellow. That would be my suggestion right here. Now, I do like the little white on the face and the feet. The tail could be a little bit, it is a little on the flat side like Pikachu. Okay, so we'll address this. This is like one of the big dragons in the room here. I'm not gonna say elephant in the room because there is an elephant in the room, but we're gonna talk about that one next. So let's talk about this one right now. This one, it looks like very much a cross between Quiverin from Power World and of course Charizard. So the developers of Pocket Games, you need to fix this. This is not, in my opinion, this is not legally safe. What I would suggest you do is get rid of, like, maybe loosen the tufts of fur. Get, maybe, add, if you want, like, this to be, like a non-evolving, creatures game, I would probably suggest that you add, like, a little horn. Get rid of the fire on the tail, at the tip of the tail. I don't think it's a good idea for you to just add that and call it good. Legally, I don't think that's necessarily safe. Also, what I would suggest is like maybe add some thick scales on the knees. That'll make it also just as unique. As for the wings here, the wings, like I said, they look really very much like Quiverin. And that concerns me a little bit. So what I would suggest you do, if you want to have this design unique, you want this design to be unique and more of your own original design, I would suggest that you replace these wings with fire. Make them like actual fiery wings. Like, that would be a really cool fiery dragon. Now, people are probably gonna say that gonna be like G-Max Charizard or something like that, but when it comes to legally, when it comes to character designing, it's okay to be inspired. It's not against copyright law to be inspired and by such designs and adding them to your own creation and make it more yours. So I would suggest you get rid of these feathery wings and turn them into fire. You can still keep this, the top of the wing. You can keep the claw, but just turn the wing membrane into fire. Go easy on the fluffy neck here, because it is very much like Quiverin. And I would probably, if we don't want to make it look like Charizard, I would probably shrink these horns, and maybe add like a dark red horn to make almost like a unicorn like on the forehead. Other than that, also what I would suggest is change the arms. I would very much highly suggest you change the arms. We don't, this is this is like literally Quiverin arms. Change the arms, polish things up on this design. It does have potential, but you are literally missing the mark on this being legally safe and being called like a bootleg Charizard, for example. We don't want that. We need it. We need something more original. Legally, I would suggest you make this like, if you want like to like be inspired by Quiverin and Charizard, don't just mash things together. We need to have it like 75% different from the designs, okay? These arms right here, if you change these arms, maybe get rid of the little feathers on the knees and add like armor scales on the knees, on the legs, and maybe on the tail here, you're gonna get some really good results. You're gonna get some proper results. Maybe like some dark red to help contrast, and like I said, a dark horn on the forehead, and change the eyes. Maybe change the eyes a little bit. Maybe instead of like blue eyes, I know you wanted that to like be complementary with the blue and orange. we're gonna need something different. You can make probably like if you wanted to make the eyes black, what like the just the black iris. But other than that, this needs work. Now let's address the actual elephant in the room. So this one I'm okay with, but I don't think it's necessary to add a machine gun because it is literally Grisbold. Okay, this thing right here. This thing right here. This is Mamarest. Yeah, you didn't really make this so different from Mamarest. You initially just made Mamarest like bulkier and added like a mountain on top. You see how similar it is? Like I mean, it's a really cool idea to add like these um big cliffs on the back. And the tusks look smooth, but I would suggest that you make the tusks like the ends of the tusks, maybe make them a little bit wider, make them look like shovels. I think that would be a nice idea. Take other ideas of like mammoths, woolly mammoths, or other um mammoth like dinosaurs. Even use like other designs for like inspirations. Like I said, I would recommend that you could probably like do like a shovel at the tip of the tusks. Just like Gammoth from Monster Hunter, Gammoth does not have sharp tusks. Her tusks have like flat or kind of flat at the end. And this one's actually not bad. This is the first time I've seen this one. I didn't really pay attention to this one. Some people are probably gonna say this is going to be like Ampharos vibes or Toxicity vibes. I think this one is safe. I think this one is good to go. In the game, this one I would just not do machine gun, even though that this game is inspired by Power World, essentially with especially with the mechanic. Um, I would not. I would not use a machine gun. I would probably use something different. This one, I saw that this was like based off of a Cerulege. Cerulege is one of my favorite Pokemon, and this is a pretty cool Anubis design. But I would probably make this a bit different. Like change things up a bit. It's got like Mega Lucario Z and Power World Anubis vibes, so I'd probably like make this a little bit different. Maybe do some research on the God of Death Anubis. See if you can get like a little bit more originality. Right now, I think this one is sitting at 55%, which I'll be honest, it's not enough. I would suggest you make it 75% different. So this one, I want to say it's legally okay, but I think this one does have potential of, but this one does have a mixture between the dark legendary pal, I forgot its name. Is it Necros? It does have, I think that's Necros. And Cerulege. So what I would probably recommend is get rid of the fire at the helmet and maybe work on bits of the armor a little bit more. Because we don't want it to like look too much like Cerulege, and we don't want it to look like too much like Necros. Although if you want to keep this tuft of hair, like feathers or fur at the end, at, like the back of the helmet, what I would probably suggest instead of like that, I would suggest that you make like ghostly energy. If it's supposed to be like a dark type or ghost type, um, instead of like having it to look like actual hair or something or a feather, turn this into like spiritual energy. That would probably make things that would probably stand out a little bit there. I would probably do it with the tail as well, and maybe at the like when it's running, it would probably leave like a trail of spiritual energy. That'd actually be really cool as well. But the Anubis, this Anubis design right here, I would recommend changing the hands to make it look like instead of 5 fingers, probably like 4 fingered paws. So but other than that, it does look like a nice design. And maybe instead of like having it look like human legs, although I don't remember if Anubis from Power World is like that. But I'll probably show a picture in the video. But yeah. So other than that, this Anubis looks pretty good. There are some monsters that do look good, but this one I immediately saw Breloom. I immediately saw Breloom. So so I got a lot of I saw Breloom because of the face and well yeah, the head and the mushroom on top of its head and the neck. I immediately saw Breloom on this. This is just way too simple for it to be safe, legally safe for a game. Now, I would suggest if I were the developer, I'll probably like split instead of like one mushroom, I'll probably do like 2 mushrooms on top of the head. Maybe three. Maybe three. 2 right there and 3 at the top. That'll probably give it some more originality into it. And I would also probably like add like a little nose and then like a little add color to the mouth, a little bit of a little color to the mouth, and maybe turn the mouth into like a beak. As for this, I'll probably add like a little bit of a teardrop coloring around here. But the arms look good. I can see that the tail is pretty much like a maple leaf. I don't really see much. I other than that, legally it's okay. But I would suggest to change some things like with the mushrooms and the mouth and I think the eyes too. Let's see. Yeah, I would probably change the eyes a little bit more, like maybe like turn them into like a teardrop. But this one's got Braviary vibes, but and also Star Raptor vibes, but I think it's like different enough for it to be legally okay. So, and I can see that you can make a really cool base around. I just hope that the there isn't so much of a radius like in Power World. That's my concern about that. It's like it's gonna be 2 on the dot for that. I like these. These are really cute right there. I think those. I don't really know if there's any other monster that would look has a lot similar to that. But let's go ahead and address this. These creatures right here. So I literally saw Swampert's colors in this design right here, which is not it's not necessarily a bad thing because there are other monsters that use the same colors as other Pokemon, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. This design right here, literally 100% safe. Now, I know that we got the fins here, but there are other monsters that have like these similar fins here. Even if they're like there's some that are on top of the head or anything like that. But this design right here, I actually do like, and this one's legally safe. Now this alpaca design, it's actually pretty good. It's different from King Paka. I think this is running towards llama, but this is definitely a fire type. So legally, this is actually a safe one, a safe design. And I do like that you can pet. Now people say that this looks a lot like Link. Now I'm pretty sure that there's gonna be like some character customization. They just use this as like an example. So don't rule that out. Let's see what other we got a couple of mice with the construction hats. Okay. dolphins right here. I do see a little bit of a difference between that. And we got little penguins, and we got like a cactus monster. This one's safe. This one's okay. It's got a little bit of a difference, but it looks like um a different like a cross between the grass monkey and one of the other bigger monkeys that's in Pal World. So this one looks like what, a green fox and a pink creature and all that fun jazz. Yeah, a lot of these, what I'm seeing here, are legally safe for the game. Yeah, some of these have like original designs. This cow design, Nova. This cow design, I am worried about. The reason why I'm worried about is because Pocket Pair got sued for their own cow design because their cow design was oh, I forgot the name. If you guys know what I'm talking about, let me know in the comments. But yeah, this one looks like that one cow. It's from another game, but like I said, I don't really remember for sure, but it looks too much like it, and they're probably going to get sued for it. So any suggestions on this one is to probably make this muzzle a little bit smaller. Maybe in the wild they could have like different patterns and make the horns a bit smaller. But I could be wrong. Let me know in the comments what you think about this cow, besides the fact that it's just asking for a lawsuit. This one's adorable. I like this one. I don't think I've ever seen a Pokemon that looks like this, or a Pal from Pal World, or any other monster creations like this one. So this one's safe. Like I said, the Anubis design needs to get fixed a little bit, like different hands, like paw-like hands. It can still have those thumbs to help with the work. I can see it's like multiplayer, so that's great. Little penguin right there, adorable little penguin. This one right here I love, but Domud from Pal World also has these fins along with Sobble. Sobble was the first one to have these kinds of fins, but it's okay to be inspired by that. What I would probably suggest is, like, if you want to keep those fins, make them a little bit sharp, like kind of like that. So that way it won't be too much on the nose for Sobble's fins. This one's a little cutie right here. So there's gonna be some base farms and things like that, just like in Power World. I'm not too I'm not really against that all per se. I think this is like the second game I've ever seen that would do something like that. We got a teddy bear that knows karate. That was also inspired by another pal, but this one, honestly, it's different enough to where like it's not gonna be sued or anything like that. It is different enough. Now, I would like to say that the graphics are really much like Power World. I'm pretty sure the developers used the same kind of graphics as Power World. The landscaping looks really nice. So we got the crossbreed of Giratina and Mega Rayquaza that needs to be addressed a little bit. Like I said, add an extra pair of wings. Extra pair of wings, maybe like a really black, like a black stripe along the back. Maybe an underbelly. Something like that. Get rid of the claws and the wings. Okay, that one looks cool. That one looks cool. This one looks pretty interesting right there. This one reminds me of one of the Ice Pals. I do like this one. This one looks cool. Change this elephant design if you want to keep the elephant. This is too much like Memorest. It's not gonna do too well in court, I would probably say. I'm not saying that they're gonna threaten a lawsuit, but if I were you, I'd probably like do some changes on this design. I'm making this video so that way you guys can understand that I think this game has potential. It just needs some work. And we got this, the cross between Necros and Cerulege that could probably do a little bit of like a different. Now I see that it does have hands, so that's a bit different too. Because Cerulege and Necros, they don't have hands. They do not have hands, so that part is actually pretty legit. Safe. So rocket launcher. We've seen that with Power World. I don't think the guns in this game are going to be all that necessary. I'm going to say it straight up. I feel like if we were to add guns to the mounts, it should be optional. We could use mounts that don't have guns in the saddles, and we could use them that do have guns in the saddles. It's a suggestion. Now, this one is definitely safe. This was definitely safe. It does give me Kamen Rider vibes when I saw this design, but this one is like really good. I do like the transformation of the motorcycle, and low kicks I could see, but this was definitely different enough to the point where it's not necessarily a ripoff. Now we do have like evil groups like with Pokemon and things like that. That's probably I think that should be like a thing anyways. This one's like really cute. I wouldn't mind taking this home with me. This one I like, although I'm seeing this now that it's also based off of Amara. Amara or Azeros. Put a picture up there. Other than that, that was very much different.
You're safe.
This one I do like. I think this was really cool. I think this is probably different enough from oh, what is it? There's the fire rock type Pokemon. I used it in my team. And was it Astagon? Yeah, this doesn't look too much like Astagon. This was definitely different enough for it to not be a ripoff. Now I'm curious of what this guy is. This is very okay. She is really, really over designed, if I'm being honest. She has a lot going on. Yeah, this one's got a lot going on. It's got wings, it's got like what, tufts of hair and things like that. Nice long tail. What I would probably get rid of is it's kind of hard to figure out which one to get rid of. I would probably like do like a comparison, like which one's better, like which one's better, without the wings or without these. Other than that, this looks fantastic. This is definitely an original design. Now, there were those that were thinking that this is like Breath of the Wild, which it kind of does give me the vibe, but we gotta like keep this in mind that there are like other trailers that do this sort of thing at the beginning, like run towards the end of the clip, jump off, and then well, I don't know about necessarily parachute, but like riding on your creatures. So far, this game is the second game that I've seen that would use cards for a caching mechanic, which I gotta say is really cool. But the first one that I know of is Temtem. I don't know if there are other monster taming games. If you can tell me if there are other monster taming games that use cards, please let me know in the comments. So we got like Jet Dragon vibes with this one, but it is very much different enough for it to not be Jet Dragon. So this is definitely a win here. But yeah, I would suggest you change the name of Pickmon to something else. Something that this is honestly kind of bland. This is kind of bland. I kind of hope this is catchable, but this one gave me Ganondorf vibes. Like, how could you not get Ganondorf vibes from this one? Really obvious that developers were inspired by Pokemon, Power World, and Breath of the Wild. Probably some other monster taming games that I don't know of, but this one, it definitely needs some work, guys. It definitely needs some work. So, I also did some extensive research on copyright law. So, especially with character designs. So, original works of authorship, especially when it comes to video games, It does protect video game characters as original works of authorship, and provided they are fixed in a tangible medium of expression, the character must be independently created by the author and possess some degree of creativity. Copyright protection does not extend to stock characters or the general idea of a character, such as the concept of gun-toting cyborg. Yeah, it's a concept of a gun-toting cyborg. Interesting. The specific expression of a character, such as detailed rendition or unique attributes, is what is protected under copyright law. I also got another thing about this. So, the also thing about the copyright law for making characters is that the copyright law protects original expressions of characters and uh, not ideas or concepts. In the United States, a work must be original and involve an element of creativity and must be fixed in a tangible medium. So it is the same thing of what I looked up for video game characters. So it is literally the same thing, and it isn't. So I'm gonna assume that this game is from here in the U.S., especially since this is like about the copyright law here in the U.S. There can be no copyrights in mere ideas and facts, but only in the unique expression of the same. The U.S. Copyright Statute of 1976 does not explicitly mention fictional characters as subject matter of copyright, and their unregistered EU design right protects the design of 3 years from the date to it was made available to the public. So I do think that Pocket Game knows what they're doing. It's just that it needs work. It needs more polish, and we could probably say that that this game does have potential of being a really good game, but nobody likes Backlash. So yeah, that's basically my analysis for this game, Pickmon. I would like to play this game someday when it comes out. Maybe when I get a new computer or when I upgrade my computer. One of those things. But I do see the potential in this game. Like I said, it needs more work. Um, it needs more polish, especially with some of the designs. I think that they need to work on them a little bit. And some say that this looks like Galarian Zapdos. I do not think this looks like Zapdos at all. It is a Thunderbird, yes, but there are other Thunderbird designs. And apparently, um, so from what I've seen on Twitter, that there was a claim that this game has stolen some fan designs. See right here, right here. This design, obviously, it was taken from, it was like copied from this. However, there is a little bit of a difference right here, and I don't see any spots. I'm not going to defend this, in case you're wondering. Not necessarily going to defend this, but this does need some work if you're going to keep this design. It needs a lot of work. You could probably add like some spikes to it if you want. Like some thorns to make it like a little bit deadly. I would also recommend that you get rid of these antenna on the top of the head. And maybe and a couple more petals or something like me, or and things along that nature. It's just some ideas, but you need to make this more different compared to this. This one right here, apparently someone was a bit triggered that this fan design was stolen into the game. I can kind of see that, and I have seen the similarities, especially with the Necros as well. But if they change the initial design of it to make it a little bit more different from this, and different from Necros, I think it will be okay for it to be legally used. But these are fan-made designs. These are not official artwork. Fan-made designs are um, not subject to copyright laws unless they are submitted by a from the artist to a copyright lawyer, and to make this like their own design. It's like copyrighted design. But as far as I know, it's not a copyrighted design. But correct me if I'm wrong, but only in a polite way. I think that would cover it for now. If I missed anything, please let me know in the comments below. I would like to know your opinions about this. Like I said, I think this game does have potential. I was pretty excited when I saw this yesterday, and it does need some work. It needs some changes. We don't want it to be like exactly like Power World. If we can like get some changes towards that, and like maybe do an option of like adding weapons to the the saddles, or maybe get rid of the weapons for the monsters entirely. This game does have the potential of being a good game. You just need to work on the designs, and maybe add some stories to it. Yeah, I think that basically covers it. Anyway, that's gonna be it for me, guys. If you like this video, feel free to hit the like button. If you haven't done so yet, feel free to subscribe as well. I will be calling it here, and have a lovely day. And don't forget this, guys. Never give up hope. Always have faith. Have a lovely day, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Until then, later.